Good evening. This is the third poem of this evening, and the other two were fairly serious. This one is supposed to be funny. Some of you might laugh. That would be very nice, but it's not essential. This is a poem written in 2016-17 in, I actually haven't got a date on it, so I can't be precise, but I know where I was. I was in Unit 7 on at HMP Highpoint, which was a super enhanced wing, so we were allowed to have access to an association room where we could jointly watch the television, and there a load of cooking went on. Anyway, one day it was discovered that there was a fish tank on another wing, which was not an enhanced wing. It was a fairly nasty wing, in fact, and nobody was looking after the fish. So it was decided that we could go and pick up the fish tank, bring it back and look after it. And that we duly did. There was a guy that professed to know all about fish, whose name I won't reveal, but it's obviously dedicated to him because he was named the fish tank orderly, and he would look after it. And we put it up, and it sort of, for a little while, much to my pleasure, replaced the filthy, tyrannical television which was there, which would just make a terrible noise and stop us from actually talking to each other, just as televisions tend to do. And I'm not a very great fan of television. But anyway, we just sit and watch the fish tank. Now, there was a mixture of fish. There was one huge fish, and this guy that the fish tank orderly actually got some ordered in from the outside, and it was immensely complicated, as you can imagine, with fish having to be searched. Presumably their private parts were analysed as well. But anyway, we had a mixture of fish. I think there were 20-something in total. But there was one big one, horrible looking thing, that actually, when he was still, he looked like a rock. And but when he moved, it would frighten the life out of everyone. Of course, when you drop any food in there, which happened twice a day or something, I loved it. I loved just watching them, because basically every other creature in that fish tank would have to allow the Kaiser, as I called him, to eat first, and they just picked up whatever he left. So, the Fishtank Fantasy. Praise be to the fantasy fish tank, rescued in haste from a wasteful wing. Praise be to the staff that we must thank for granting us sight of this sacred thing. Praise to be the orderly that keeps it clean, this alternative to the silver screen. We need no altar before which to pray, faced with our fabulous faithful fish. We need neither pews nor idols of clay, for no human icon could we now wish. Watching these curious, colourful creatures, our association room's new living features. We now know that all fish are not equal, not merely by size, nor by seniority. Democracy will not be their society's sequel, for the mightiest is in a unique minority. There is but one, the Kaiser the King, to whom the others must anthems sing. His life is no struggle, this aquatic deity. His every requirement is by us provided. He rests like a rock in royal tranquility, while remains of his food are by minnows divided. His power is not granted by unseen hands, for the fish tank orderly at his side stands. So we observe a jail within a jail, where the convicted have committed no crime. But their prison system will never fail, while the orderly spends so much of his time to supply the incarcerated with their every need in their space where safety is guaranteed. And theirs is a prison which is totally secure. No escape can be made from their idyll. The orderly removes all traces of obscurity, so that the roll may be checked at will. No need for sophisticated means of duress, there can be no riot to suppress. Sadly, the conditions will never arise when they might be released, nor can they even recategorize until, of course, they become deceased, when finally we will show some dignified respect to these inmates that no one could ever suspect. Thank you very much.